Hello everyone, today we have another part of the video report with this Su-122 and here you can see that we are on one of the most interesting stages in assembly. It's installation of the main gun, which you can see here installed in the main hull. I can't touch it because it's still like glue is drying out, so it's better not to touch it. Here you can see that some of the seams are still present, but I'm not worried about it because it will be hidden under the mask and basically it won't be visible to the viewer. So here you can see it installed. As you can see, it's slightly angled upwards. Why? Because it should make easier to install all this front masks and other stuff, and I will explain it a bit later now. But what's more interesting here is this small thin part. As you can see, you might notice small, let's say, rough connections between those small segments. Why? Because the part is so thin that it's easy to break when you're cleaning, and there are a lot of attachment points on this part, so basically you should be ready to clean this part carefully and maybe to glue all those small segments which will break off the part. Here you can see that the gun is not just a simple tube assembly as in some kits, but it's really complex, let's say, set. And as you can see, there are some different items and tools carefully replicated. And it looks quite realistic, I would say. Of course, on the frontal section here, you can see special socket. You will have to install the main barrel, which is molded as one piece, so at least there we won't have seams. But still we have seams, for example, here on the mask, and I will have to tackle it because it's really ugly. And of course, it's better to remove it somehow. And here you can see it from the bottom. Next, another interesting thing, here you can see that some of the bolts are slightly damaged. Why? Because I just decided to try to follow the assembly manual. In the assembly manual you have to install this part right after installation of the main gun. Well, you install it, it goes right here, just like this. Okay, you get the idea. I mean, it's fixed with this help of small pins. And here it is approximately in the place. And then you need to install this part, which is basically goes like this. But you won't be able to install it because of this small part in the bottom. Whereas if we don't follow the assembly manual, we remove this small part, just go away. And then we use this small part and it just goes inside. Here you can see that it's just easy to put it on the main gun and you are ready to go. Then you install this part, then you install this part. Of course, it's easier approach, you won't damage the main gun, and I recommend you to use such, let's say, order of installation, assembly process, because otherwise you're gonna have a bit of a problem. Yes, this gun is movable upwards and downwards, but still you might damage some inside elements. Here you can see, for example, this part, which is which can touch the roof, which will be covering the frontal section, and of course it will be pity to break it off and then try to assembly all those parts inside the closed frontal section. So that's all for the main gun, and what I wanted to show you is the right part of the hull. Here you can see that I assembled some internal elements, and here you can see that I used the metal wire instead of the plastic part. Why? Because here you can see that installed on the standard plastic holders, which were molded together with plastic rod. And basically again the same problem as with the thin part on the main gun, because when you cut off this part there are a lot of connection points, you have to clean them, and the part starts to break off. So you have a lot of small segments and you have to deal with them somehow. Therefore I decided not to waste time and use the metal wire, which is more or less realistic looking, and of course it's easier to work with. And you don't have to waste your time trying to align all those tiny parts tiny broken segments together. Then I dealt with roof. Here you can see the PE mesh installed, some of the small handles for the external hatches. Here you can see hatches installed, the wizard turret, and also the air intake here. I decided to leave off the separately molded hatch. I'm not sure yet how it will be depicted on the vehicle. Maybe I will position it in a closed, let's say, version. Maybe I will just make it a movable so that it can be placed in an open or closed position. And here you can see the ammo load, which will be placed on the side of this vehicle. Here you can see I attached small parts, and tomorrow we will be attaching it to the Su-122. So that's all for this video report. As you can see, our assembly process is not standing on one spot and we are slowly advancing. Of course, I will be happy to hear your opinion about this build, maybe your suggestions how to tackle the seam on the gun barrel cover. And of course, leave it in the comment section below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel as usual. So thank you for watching and see you in the next video review or video report. Bye.